Briefly, if you recall, we learned about the basics of computer, components of the computer, definition of the computer, and generations of the computer. Generations are nothing but developmental stages of the computer from first to fifth generation. Let us look into types of computers. Okay, mainly there are three types of computers. One is analog computer, digital computer, and hybrid computer. These three let us discuss in detail. Analog computer, a computer that represents data by measurable quantities as voltages or formerly the rotation of gears in order to solve a problem rather than expressing the data as numbers. If you see this type of computer accept analog input and gives out the analog output only. Complex computer used for scientific research and research processes most fastest computer. Examples are thermometers, analog clock, speedometer, and tire pressure gauge. Just recall your olden days. Just recall the watches which were used in the olden days, maybe up to 2000 or before. The dial was in round shape or in the square shape. Inside two needles and numbers used to be there. It was numbers from 1 to 12 were not in the digital form like 1, 2, 3, right? They were in the symbolic form. So that is the analog feature. If you see the digital computer, here computer that performs calculations and logical operations with quantities represented as digits using binary number system of 0 and 1. These are the most commonly used computer like IBM PC, Apple Macintosh, calculators, digital watches, right? If it is 12:30 in the watch, it shows 12.30. So it is readable format. Hybrid computers, as the name indicates, it is a hybrid feature of both analog and the digital computers. A computer that processes both analog and digital data. So hybrid computer is a digital computer that accepts analog signals and digital signals as well. In the second paragraph, you are reading analog data also and the digital data, both it accepts. But the output will be always digital. Input may be analog or digital, but the output will always be in digital data. Clear? It accepts a continuously varying input, which is then converted into a set of discrete of values for digital processing. So hybrid computer has both the features of the analog computer as well as digital computer. Moving on to the next slide, it gives the examples. Hybrid computer is a computer used in hospitals to measure the heartbeat of the patient. Second one is devices used in petrol pumps. Hybrid machines are generally used in scientific applications or in controlling industrial processes. Okay, briefly we understood the components of the computer. Uh, Further, it is again divided into computer hardware and computer software. What is computer hardware? Hardware is the physical component of a computer. Hardware is the digital component of the computer. Let's see briefly what it explains. Computer hardware is defined as the physical part or the component of the computer system which can be felt, seen and touched, right? It is a physical component. Computer monitor which we use to view the display is the hardware device. Even a hard disk, a printer which we use to produce outputs, as a computer memory which is used to store the data. Programs are all the types of hardware used in the computer system or for the better functionalities of the computer. If you see the computer software, it is a set of programs or instruction which are designed and developed to perform specific tasks. IT professionals who are specialists develop customized programs which can be used in certain areas of our day-to-day life. These types of software programs are very helpful and can reduce human efforts immensely. I hope this you understood. Computer hardware is the physical component. Software are the set of programs which are developed by the experts and customized uh, programs or set of instruction to perform a specific tasks. Here hardware and software go hand in hand. Just by having hardware we are not able to operate the computer. If you have only software, we are not able to operate the computer. We need both to operate a computer so that we are able to get a desired output. Different PC software can be categorized into main types. Again, software is divided into system software and the application software. A computer software needs hardware to function properly. For example, a hard disk drive is a hardware device of a computer system which stores information, programs or data in high volumes, but it cannot work in the absence of software. That's what I discussed in the previous slide. They mutually dependent on each other heavily. Hardware are essential parts of the computer system like CPU, RAM, power supply, monitors, etc. are the hardwares. We cannot start the computer without these components. CPU, without CPU, without RAM, without power supply and monitors, we are not able to boot a computer. If you see, if you compare the speakers, printers, other mouse are also the physical component or the hardwares of the program computer, but without speakers, printers, mouse, we can boot process the computer or booting process of the computer. Booting is nothing but switching on a computer. These devices are used for additional functions of a computer. So these are external hardwares, and CPU, RAM, power supply, monitors, motherboards, other are known as internal hardware of the computer. If you see the hardware component used in the computer, their differences. Cabinet case, motherboard, RAM, hard disk, CPU, SMPs, switching mode, power supply, keyboard, mouse, monitors, printers, speakers, etc. are the physical component or of the computer, that is hardware. So if you see, can you categorize this into internal hardware and the external hardwares? Yes, a motherboard, internal hardware, RAM, internal hardware, hard disk to store the data, internal hardware, CPU, central processing unit, which has arithmetic logic unit, ALU, to process or act as a brain, SMPs, switching mode, power supply. It is the source of the power supply to motherboard. Then it will be distributed to other components. Keyboard, mouse. Keyboard is external or internal. Without keyboard, can we switch it on? Yes. Mouse, yes, external. Monitors, internal. Printers, external. Speaker, external. In these slides, I have given you the details of cabinet case, motherboard, RAM, hard disk drive and all. Please have a glance. I have already discussed about all this. If you see SMPs, it is new center. This will be SMPs power supply, switching power mode supply, which is responsible to give the power to motherboard. Later, it will be distributed among the other hardwares. So it is the source of power supply. Mainly three supplies are there. One is AT, ATX and ATXT. That is, one is AT means advanced technology, ATX is advanced technology extended, ATXT means advanced technology extended technology. Advanced technology with extended technology. So keyboard, CPU, etc. are we discussed. Mouse, monitors is a display unit, mouse is a pointing device, printers are the where you can take out the hard copy of the virtual or digital data into hard copy. Speakers are the used to output the digital signals. If you see this, there are mainly system softwares. We understood that if you purchase a computer, it has all the physical components, as well as we are checking for which software is installed in that. It is Windows 10 or Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows Express or Windows Vista. Windows Starter, Windows 2000. These are all the Windows series. See, just see how they have been upgraded to Windows 10.7, which is running presently. Even other platforms are Linux, Unix, Mac 09, IBM OS 2. Uh, these are the system softwares. Hardware cabinet, which this particular slide explains everything in a single shot. Um, Computer software is a set of instruction. This we already understood that the user will need both hardware and software for computer system to work properly. Hardware reads the software. Software on computer system is in the uniform programs. The software, this we already discussed. This is repeating system software and the hardware. Let's move on to the different types of system softwares are translators, device drivers, utility programs, operating system. Translators are those programs which translates codes which are written in high level language and assembling into machine language. This we are going to deal with in deep little bit later. Device drivers, these are the programs which are help the better functionality of the hardware devices such as mouse, sound cards and keyboards. Utility programs are format, defragmentation, cleaning of the hard disk space, installing and removing application programs from PC or to the PC. These utility programs help the user to better communicate and interact with the software hardware. Formatting is removing everything from the computer. Defragmentation is if you purchase from hard disk, it shows C drive, D drive, E drive and all, right? So here fragmentation will be nullified, means defragmented. No fragments, no partitions will be there. Cleaning of hard disk. These are all the utility programs or utility softwares. Operating systems, these are primary interface between a user and a computer hardware. Um, yeah, we understood that there is a hardware and there is software. It is software or operating system will be the interface between the computer hardware and the user. It represents user GUI, stands graphic users interface, where the user can directly communicate with the interface. I'm using this pointing device. This is the because of GUI. We'll discuss it in the later stage. Right? Application software of a computer. Application software is a program which is designed and developed for specific purposes for a special task which is directly used by the users. In other words, this one we discussed. In other words, it can be described as an interface between user and the system software which helps the user to perform given specific task. Common application software is word processor and spreadsheets. If you purchase Windows 10, Windows Office also will come with that. In Windows Office, you will find Windows Word, Windows Excel, PowerPoint. These are other many other options will be there. They are coming as a application software. Some of the application software are bind in together with other application software such as MS Office Suite comes with MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, etc. Adobe includes Adobe Photoshop and Image Ready together. Pre-installed application software which is installed automatically, or in another word we can say that they come as a package, includes a popular operating system such as Microsoft Windows. That is what I discussed there. Microsoft 10 is operating system and operating software, and Microsoft Office is application software. These are bundled together. For example, Paint and Windows, Media Player, user written or customized softwares, right? So this paragraph again reads the same. They may be in the railway reservation, payroll, calculating salary of employees, everywhere. This is useful.